Triple espresso is very necessary this morning. We're starting by taking an impression of a non-prep tooth.
Two zebras bit like cookie, raise your eyebrows.
You guys, hello, good morning. It is 9 a.m. and I've already had an hour-long lecture. And if you guys know me, you know that I'm not by any stretch a morning person, hence why I look the way I look right now. This morning we had a mandatory in-person oral pathology lecture, and if it weren't mandatory, you guys know, I would be chilling watching it from home in my pajamas, but unfortunately the professor wants us in person, so I had to be there. Triple espresso is very necessary this morning. Today is a super busy day because this morning we had our 8 a.m. lecture. We technically have 3 GI lectures now, but I'm just gonna watch those recorded because I'm still not fully caught up, even though we're having an exam this weekend. We just have exams every week this semester, guys. It's a lot. The other things we have going on today are obviously pre-clinic, which is regularly on Tuesdays. Today we are actually doing temporaries, which I'm actually really happy about because I used to do them all the time as an assistant. So I do have a lot of experience making temporaries and, you know, shaping them properly and making sure, you know, to cover margins and occlusion and things like that. And I'm familiar with the material. So that should be really fun today in pre-clinic. But after that, we have our first physical diagnosis small group in which we're actually learning how to do a head and neck exam, where we're going to examine the oral cavity as well as anything in the head and neck, and we're going to be practicing on each other, which should be fun. I am not volunteering to go first, but I will gladly watch someone else do it. So it's a very, very long day. Actually, clinic is until like 4:30, and then we have physical diagnosis for like an hour. So I don't know how I'm gonna make it. Probably not my first coffee of the day, but we'll see. Head to the library now to catch up on some GI lectures.
Are you vlogging right now?
I am vlogging. Would you not want to be in it?
Yeah, we got it.
I'll crop you out if anything. Hi, do you want to be in the vlog? You didn't know that I'm on YouTube? Yeah, I have. I do it all the time. Alright, so we're starting by taking an impression of a non-prep tooth to make the shape of the tooth. Set up the other camera for TikTok. Still working time on this. It's like 4 minutes. Alrighty, timer's done. We're taking it out. Ooh, that was rough. Ooh. Alright, so now you put back in the prep tooth, put it in with the temporary material. Alright. Not the best impression, but it'll do. Alright, so this is the prep tooth. Now we're gonna take that same impression and we're gonna fill it with temporary material and then put it back in to set. Okay, so the temp is done. Already looks really nice. Now I just have to do some adjusting to get rid of some of that excess material around the edges, but aside from that, pretty good. So normally in a real patient, what you would do though is you would check the bite by putting a little paper on the top of this and have the patient bite down so that the top tooth that's contacting this one wouldn't hit it. But right now I don't have to do it because I'm working on a mannequin. This is what it looks like on. It looks pretty neat. Anatomy is replicated. Contacts are there. Margins are not open. First temp. Well, not first temp, but first temp in school. So we keep all of our instruments on a separate floor where the bench labs are. Normally it's filled with students practicing, but the 4th years just took their licensing exam, so today it's pretty empty. I finished pre-clinic pretty quickly today. It only took like 30-40 minutes to do everything, which was nice because I didn't have to be there for 2 hours. And we have a GI exam this weekend, so I'm gonna stay at school for a couple hours and study. And then we have our head and neck physical diagnosis session at 4 o'clock, and it's about 1:40 right now, so I'm gonna hang out here for a little bit. I'm not on my usual floor. I'm a little lower down just because it is so hot up there without shades. So still the same views, just a little cooler. Alrighty, so I just spent the last hour on the phone instead of studying, but it's for a good reason. So if you guys don't know, I know I've kind of touched on this a little bit. I have years-long battle with eczema that has been pretty rough. Working in a healthcare setting where infection control is a really, big deal, having eczema outbreaks causes me to have like tears and breaks in my skin, and so it's been a real struggle. I had to pretty much deal with being told that there's no possible way to cure it or fix it, and it's just an autoimmune thing, that I should just use topical steroids, but those are not a permanent solution because you can only use them 2 weeks at a time. When I went to see my dermatologist over the summer and I had a really bad flare-up, I was actually told about a new type of medication that could possibly make it go away for good, which is incredible. It's a new drug type and it was kind of relatively recently approved, and it's been approved for a lot of autoimmune conditions, not just eczema. It would be a really good solution for me because I have trifecta of autoimmune allergy things, because I have seasonal allergies, I have eczema, and I have asthma, and it's a once a month kind of medication. And I've been on the phone with my insurance and pharmacy trying to figure out how I can get it covered, and luckily I was able to do that. So I'm really fortunate to have good insurance because my dad works in a hospital, so he gets good insurance. I will recognize the privilege in that and how fortunate I am to be able to do so. I'm just really excited to be able to start that. Even though I didn't get to study for the past hour, I'm happy I got that done. Now I am rushing to get to physical diagnosis on time. Hopefully I'm not the only one that's running a little bit late. And also I just want to show you guys how pretty the campus looks. The leaves are starting to change and it's so pretty, and I just love fall, and I love when it's colder, and all my classmates are like in winter jackets today and they're like, I hate the weather, I'm so cold. And I was like, I love it. I love when it's cold. I love the brisk, crisp fall air. Like, I'm a crazy person. Everybody hates the cold. Maybe I'll be able to film the head and neck exams and physical diagnosis, but if not, I'll just tell you guys about it. You ready? Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
Can you see and see?
Yes, I can. Yes. Okay.
Okay. Cranial nerve 3, 4, and 6. Okay. So follow my finger. Okay. The accommodations, right? That's when you go like this. Okay.
Start from
Okay.
Madina's like, I have vertigo.
Yep.
So for the pupillary light response, as first the light comes high, it diminishes the response. So you kind of want to have to close your eyes, see black.
Yeah. Okay, and now the other one. All right, good. Okay, so that's going to be testing the V1, V2, V3.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because
so tell me if this is equal and bilateral. Now that's soft touch, and now I'm going to do hard touch.
That was very light, but yeah.
I don't want to hurt you.
Don't worry. Nothing I haven't done to my skin in my teens.
Like this. You come down like this. This is kind of non-specific because it's testing both V2.
I see.
So you want to come right here into the just completely.
Okay, let me know what direction I'm going. And now for cranial nerve 7, muscles and facial expression. 2 zebras, midline cookie, raise your eyebrows. Okay, and now straight face. And now smile with your cheeks. Lower your cheeks.
Your frown.
That what nerve is that testing?
I miss my
That's for facial.
Platysma is innervated by the cervical branch of the facial.
Crown.
She's sad and searching.
Yeah. Cranial nerve 8. This is equal and bilateral.
Yeah. Okay.
And now 12 is with the tongue. So stick your tongue out.
That's
Good.
automatic.
2 tongues go towards the 12. Tongue towards.
You got the gist of it, which is great.
Okay. Give me a little way.
Yeah. Stick your tongue out and open and say and beautiful. That way, please. Beautiful. This way. Okay. Now I'm gonna try.
No, this is mental, sublingual,
Wait, you didn't
submandibular.
come close to below into your chest and spinal system.
Yeah.
Yes.
Groups of lymph nodes are blown up, and they're, the infection's going down to the danger space, it needs to breathe, etc., etc. So I'm gonna start anterior and posterior because you can conflate the sublingual gland or sublingual lymph node.
Submental lymph nodes, and then sublingual and submandibular.
Just anterior to the.
Yep.
That's particularly.
Because I have nails.
No, oh, well, yeah. Some people just kind of tap along it, but you really kind of feel for symmetry along. Make sure the borders are nice and clean.
This is my favorite muscle. Yeah, I think it's so good. I think they look so good.
Do you have a favorite muscle?
Like flexible, so just lean forward.
You're
Okay, yeah, I
so
think
bilateral.
face. Gonna check for what?
I guess you're resistant.
Yeah, but what does that
Those for
test? Right? I just did the certified mouse weight. I didn't put pressure.
But he was like, this is easy. He's like,
that was the trapezius. Now I'm gonna do the bones of your face. So the supra, occipital. No,
let me
get out. I'm gonna do the.
you can also do the mandible before you do next one.
Well, it's jaw.
I feel like
it's surgery. I was an assistant when a patient had that.
Okay,
Like, okay, too wide.
Your pinkies, turn them, the pads anteriorly, putting them inside their ear canal and have them blend them out. That's a great way to feel it here.
In the ear.
I've had to do that for patients. It's weird, but I find patients open.
I'm about to refresh myself.
Oh, okay, touching your own ears.
Oh, that's fine. I give myself consent.
There you go. And then open. You feel that?
So what are we listening to?
So you're listening for snaps, crackles, and pops.
Isn't that how you fix No. There's like a little board too.
This is moving. This hand isn't. There's a fracture.
Yeah.
Like if the whole alveolus is moving.
Yeah. That was
Not-
scary, Brad. Wait, so you're
Along the entire branch, all the way from it's not anterior and posterior. You just run your fingers posterior. You should feel no broken step offs, and you shouldn't feel any big blobs of indurated inflammation. See? You're very faint one. It's right here. Right here. You can cross it for guys, it's a lot easier.
Okay.
And then for thyroid, do you remember the landmarks? For thyroid then? Remember the landmarks?
right above the sternal
Think of me.
attachments
Think
of
of
the.
this.
I am.
Cervical
Yep.
Alrighty, hello, I am back. My camera ran out of space, so I had to clear some up before recording something else again, but it cut out just before we finished, so it's fine. You guys got to see pretty much the entire head and neck exam, which is fun. I got to be the patient. Honestly, I feel like that's kind of better. I wanted to be aware of how those things feel when you're doing them to fit someone, and I can be gentle because I know exactly how it feels to have that exam performed on you. Thank you, Brana, for performing the exam and being very gentle. That is where we analyze the nerves and the muscles, analyze the movements, we analyze the symmetry to make sure that when there is asymmetry, that there isn't any damage. We also analyze the bones of your head because that's exactly what we have to do when someone comes into the ER after an accident, because there could be fractures. I think that it was very helpful, and also our student liaison who was helping us, he is a 4th year right now, so he is right about to graduate and go into residency, and he was very knowledgeable, and the way he explained it was, I think, much better and much closer to what we could understand than like a professor explaining it. That was really fun. Dan just called me and said that he wants to take Teddy on a really long walk, so he said if I'm leaving school that he could meet me and go and meet them halfway, because it's about a 30-ish minute walk to my house. So it's not that far, but when the weather's not great, it's not a fun walk. It's also downhill to go back to my house, but uphill to come here, so I would never walk to school. But right now, the weather is nice, and it's still light outside, and instead of being cooped up in a library, I thought, why not just walk back home and meet them, and then I'll study a little bit at home later. Best therapy after a long day of school. Look at that butt. Look at that butt. Teddy.